Hey everyone, it's that math magician. On this video, we're going to take a look at statements, and more importantly, conditional statements. And we'll see what they are, why we use them, and how we can show whether or not they're true or false. So for this example, we're going to look at what we call an if-then statement. That's really what a conditional statement is. It's an if-then statement. Notice there it's if you have A, then you get B. I like to think of if-then statements sort of like a cause and effect. If you have this thing, this whatever it is, this happening, then this is going to occur. And what we do is we call that A and B sort of the hypothesis and the conclusion. And you probably are familiar with those terms of hypothesis and conclusion. But again, it's just talking about if you have this, then this is going to happen. And so now we can sort of just jump into an example of a conditional statement and then talk about whether or not it's a true statement or a false statement. So we have this conditional statement that says, if today is Monday, that's the hypothesis, that's what we know. If today is Monday, then tomorrow is Tuesday. That is a conditional statement that ends up being true, right? That is a true statement because if today is Monday, then tomorrow has to be Tuesday. There's no other possible conclusion. Tomorrow will be Tuesday. All right, I hope that's sort of making sense to you. Let's jump into another conditional statement. And we have one right underneath here that says, if today is Monday, then tomorrow is Sunday. Notice for this guy here, this conditional statement is false. That is a false statement because if today is Monday, then tomorrow is not going to be Sunday. Right? It has to be Tuesday. So this is an example of a conditional statement that is not true. It's where the conclusion is not matching the hypothesis. And you got to make sure when you're looking at conditional statements, if-then statements, is it a true statement? So let's go ahead and look at another one. Now these two examples have really nothing to do with math, but now we'll jump into one where hopefully it'll make a little more sense and we can look at it with our math lens on it. So here's our next if-then statement that we have. It says, if the polygon has 3 sides, then it is a triangle. That is a conditional statement where our hypothesis is, you have a polygon that has 3 sides. The conclusion says, then it is a triangle. That right there is a true statement. I hope we all know at this point that if you do have a polygon that has 3 sides, there's no other name for that shape, for that polygon. It is definitely a triangle. So that is an example there of a conditional statement that is true. All right, let's look at one more example of a conditional statement. We have it right here, and it says, if the area is base times height, then the polygon is a rectangle. And now we sort of got to think about this one, right? Because I know some of you out there might be thinking, oh, this is a true conditional statement. Yeah, because I know that the area of a rectangle is base times height. We got to think about it in the lens of if-then. If you know the area is base times height, right? If you know you have this shape and you know the area is found by base times height, does that mean the shape has to be a rectangle? Is it forcing that to be a rectangle? And so the answer actually for this guy is that this is a false statement. The reason why it's false is that there are other shapes that you can have that will have an area of base times height. One example could be a square, right? A square is a polygon that has the area of base times height. Another one is a parallelogram, right? A parallelogram also is a polygon where we use base times height to find its area. And then I can think of one more, which is our good old friend, the rhombus. Again, these are all 3 other examples that really could fit here for this conditional statement. And that's why this conditional statement is false. It's false because it's not always true, right? It is sometimes true, right? We do know that, yeah, the rectangle does have an area of base times height. Because I can see other examples, other conclusions from that hypothesis, that's why this one ends up being false. So I hope this video helped you out, sort of, understand and realize what conditional statements are. And in the next video, we'll look at ways that we can still look at other types of statements. It's that math magician. and I'll see you on the next video.